Hi, everybody. Angel here. I hope you're doing great. And today I'm super excited to speak with Carla of Raw by Carla. So we'll get started soon. Thank you for joining. And if you missed any of my prior Instagram lives, you can check them out on my IGTV. They're all there for you. Over 100 conversations. Thank you for joining. Great to see you. Thank you. So we'll get started soon. It would be awesome to know where you're tuning in from all around the world. That's always cool. Yeah, over 100. Yeah. It's awesome. Started in a moment. Hi there. How
Hi.
are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Good, muy bien, ¿qué tal?
Bien, gracias, bien. Pues, ¿qué tenemos? Ah, París. Wow. Awesome. Gracias. Merci beaucoup pour venir
So
nous voir
much.
aujourd'hui. Ok, entonces no hemos decidido cómo vamos a tratar el tema del
Del
idioma.
idioma. I can speak in English just depending on what people prefer, or maybe we can do mix and mix certain things like you want. If I don't know how to say some words in English, I will say it in Spanish.
You are fluent. You are fluent. I know you are. I've already heard you speak English, so pero, pero es como quieras porque eres la invitada.
No, tú eres quien me ha invitado, así como tú quieras.
Pues, no sé, no sé.
Sorry, I don't speak French. Just a little
Right.
bit, but not like so fluent.
I hear you. Une prochaine fois, on va parler en français, d'accord? J'espère que ça vous va.
Mhm.
Ah, entonces, tres lenguas en mi cabeza. Entonces, vamos. Um, Thank you, Carla, for joining us today. I want to thank everybody else who's also joining us. And please put your questions and comments, preguntas, comentarios abajo. And we would be happy to have Carla, answer them as we go along. Awesome. Tess, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so
So,
much for inviting me. This is an honor for me to talk about raw food and health and helping people. That's amazing.
awesome. Yes, yes. So I've been following you for a while. I super love your Instagram lives. I'm a little bit of a fan of Instagram lives, as people can probably tell. And so I've listened to several of yours, and of course your general posts and all of that. So yeah, I'm just super happy that you're taking the time. I know everybody's super busy, and so I think we should just jump right in there. And so
Okay.
my first question for you, please, Carla, is if you would please share with us your vegan journey, how you started and how you ended up to where you are today, please.
Okay, so now I'm gonna turn 32 next month. So
Oh,
I started this journey when I was 18. 18. I moved to Barcelona. When I went there to study, and I was going to live by myself. So I didn't want to be this typical student who eats tuna with pasta and tomato
I
sauce,
ate tuna with pasta in the
Yeah, me
cans,
too.
the little cans. Oh, and tomato paste, tomato paste.
Yes, exactly. So I was thinking, okay, I have to do something about it. And before 18, I was very conscious about healthy eating because I was a little bit overweight, comparing with my other friends. So I always choose like vegetables or salads or things like that. But then I was in Barcelona, And my cousin brought me to a vegan Indonesian restaurant, and I absolutely love it. So I was like, wow, I can do that, you know. So I started like with being vegetarian, let's say that,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
vegan. And when I turned vegan, it was kind of like directly I found raw foods, because eating like vegetarian, like a lot of cheese and eggs and also gluten, I realized I was intolerant to lactose and gluten. So for me, going into a raw vegan diet, it was the best thing to do. And at the beginning, I thought, okay, this diet is so extremist for me. Like it's too much, because not because of me, because I could do it, but because the people surrounded by me, like my friends, my family, and I wasn't brave enough. I can say that at that point, I was maybe like 22 or 23 when I discovered raw foods, and I was like, oh, this is too much for me right now. But I knew the path. So I started incorporating more salads, more fruits, a little bit of back and forth. And when I went to live in New York in 2015, I discovered Fully Raw Christina.
Oh
I was like,
yeah.
okay, I want to be like her. It's like so easy to eat raw foods, you know? And but well, I was doing more like routine four, because being in New York for me was not my climate. It was snowing here in Spain, well, in the Canary Islands it doesn't snow, so it was like maybe too much. But then my second year in the US, it was 2017, so I started Fully Raw, and more or less since then, so I was like jumping into raw foods. Yeah. I had
Amazing.
like a period that I got in 2019 or something like that, Helicobacter pylori. And I listened to the doctors, I took the pills, and then they put me in a absurdo, una dieta absurda, like food map diet. It's like no sense
Oh,
diet. I was
oh.
eating just rice.
Mhm.
And thanks God, I discovered a raw vegan doctor. Actually, is in the nickname in Instagram is the raw vegan doctor, Doctora Areli.
Oh
So
yeah.
she was like helping me so much, telling me start eating just ripe bananas, and again I could start eating raw foods again. So okay, with all these years I've been traveling, living in Barcelona, in Madrid, in New York, I realized, okay, where I can eat that way and it's more sustainable and the climate is good and everything. So I decided to come back to the Canary Island. Here we are like next to Africa, it's Spain, but we have papayas, we have bananas, oranges, avocados. So it's like paradise. It's a subtropical island. We have like more or less like a spring climate,
Yeah.
and yeah, and since then I'm raw vegan, and now I'm doing well 10 use feast challenge. I'm on day 5, but let's see, maybe I continue more days. We will see.
Amazing. Oh, and we're going to talk about your challenges, los retos.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's so interesting that you were introduced to veganism in Barcelona. I've been to Barcelona, and it's true that it's growing, but I find Madrid to be much more vegan friendly than Barcelona. I don't know. What do you think?
I've been living in both. First, I moved to Barcelona, so maybe like for me it was like a paradise, because comparing with Tenerife or the Canary Islands was nothing. And then Madrid, yeah, it has options. Of course, Madrid is like a bigger city,
Yeah.
much restaurants, much options than Barcelona.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I found that more or less right now, it's like it's more or less similar. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool. And I can totally understand. Okay, so when I was in Spain, I noticed because I try to eat local, and I noticed it's so awesome because you have a very big agriculture production.
Yes,
So, it was nice to the food wasn't growing in Madrid, but it was coming from some other parts of
Yeah,
Spain.
next
And
to.
so, yeah, and so it was good because at least I felt like the food was fresher and it just tasted better. So I was just like going to a what we would call in English like an organic supermarket, and they had like the fresh fruits and vegetables there. So that's an advantage that you have, that and of course now you are like on the island, so it's even better.
Yeah, well, when I was living in Madrid, I always remember we have like fruterias, which is a place where
Yes.
just you go and buy fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have like fruits from Spain, but being like vegan, fruitarian, you always choose the fruits that are like more tropical. So
Yeah.
I remember being in Madrid, wanted to buy papayas, but papayas were not from the Canary Island, were from South America, and
Hmm.
they were much expensive, or I don't know, bananas was not
Hmm.
plátanos de Canarias, like from here
Hmm.
it was bananas as well, or pineapples. It was
Yeah.
a lot of products were not from Spain. Globalization. It's what happened.
Yeah.
But if you want quality fruit, you pay more, even though you are in
Totally.
Spain or you are in another country, right? Because if you go to the supermarket, it's shit. Sorry, but the
Yeah, yeah,
fruit
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
smell at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. And because I've also shopped in the big chains of supermarkets. So I don't want to call any names because I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but it's true. And then it's a lot of conventional. It's not always organic in the standard supermarkets. So yeah, I was just going to like a bio, like the bio, like the organic
Totally.
ones, because then
Mm.
I felt, well, at least at least I'm reducing my chemical intake here. So we have a Vamos Carlita here. Please put your preguntas, comentarios abajo, por favor. Sería
Yes, gracias.
estupendo. It would be nice to get some questions and comments for Carla in the comment section. So please feel free. And so, Carla, you mentioned, handling other people's reactions to your decision to go raw. So, how did you progress in terms of like handling that, energy from other people? I mean, were they kind of making fun or criticizing or just like, oh my gosh, what
Yes,
is
so
she
much.
doing? What
Yeah.
was that like for you?
Yeah, it was really hard for me actually. When I moved to Barcelona, I was living by myself, but it was like a kind of like apartments with individual apartments, but it was like a building for just students.
Oh,
I
wow.
started studying architecture, so all this building was from architecture students, and okay, my neighbors they were like the students as well from the same university, and I remember, I don't know, to make dinners together, and they wanted me to eat jam, jamon serrano, things like that. They didn't
Oh,
understand. And for me, it
no.
was very, very difficult at the beginning. Like, okay, I choose not to eat that. And they always wanted to put some meat inside. Of course, we were like 20 something, and we were kind of like kids comparing with now. But the thing is, during this process, I choose with who I wanted to be, like
Yeah,
relationships,
yeah.
friends. And unfortunately, some of those friends or partners from that time are not in my life right now,
Right,
because
right.
I choose to be brave enough to listen to myself, to listen to my body, and say, no, I'm not going through that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm happy that my family supports me. They don't understand everything I do. That's right, and they don't do the same diet. Right now, I'm here in my parents' house, and they eat very, very different than me. Like the typical Spanish food. My father eats so much meat, coffee, wine. My mom wants to eat a little bit healthy, but I think that she doesn't know where to start. And it's always like, "Oh, you eat so much sugar and that's not good," and blah blah blah. That I think that they always listen to someone who is not from the family than a member of the family, you know. And okay, I'm not gonna go into that, but the thing is that they respect me and I respect them. And I think that that's good if I want to live with them or have like a good relation with them. And yeah, about friends and partners, I know that it's difficult. I've been several times actually there, but if it's not working, I think that you have to be true to yourself. To yourself.
Totally, totally.
It's
It's
hard. It's hard. It's so hard. I know.
yeah,
It can be
no,
so hard.
yeah. I mean, there's one particular person in my family who pokes fun at me. She's like, well, she said the other day, she said, but Angel, you hardly even need to chew your food because like I eat a lot of smoothies, for example, or lots of fruit, obviously. A few nuts and seeds and all of that. And she was like, but and for her, like this is not even like real food. Like it's not even like for her, this is like snacks, or something. I don't
Yes.
know. But
Yeah.
it's not like a real meal. And so yeah, I mean, I can tell that she thinks that this is a little bit weird, but
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
such is
Yeah.
life. I mean, but what I find interesting, because of course I'm way older than you, but what I find interesting is that you have decided, like, or, even in your 20s, that you were going to associate yourself with people, even in terms of like like who you're gonna match with or be a partner with, based on your commonalities, for example, around your diet and all of that. And so I'm single, so any guys out there,
I'm
I'm
single too. I'm single too.
we need to
Eh,
do a single show, a vegan single show. I'm going to be doing that. So just so you know, everybody. And so, I was telling someone on a podcast the other day that I've, decided I just really prefer to be with a vegan guy. Like I don't want to have those difficult conversations. And yes, my coach is trying to get me to be more open-minded. And I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to. Because I feel like because I'm older, I thought, well, if I were younger, I would be more open to it. So I find it very interesting that you, at such an early age, decided, to kind of really have these, to stay true to yourself. In other words.
well, that's the truth is that I was true to myself when I started like dating with guys. I remember that I was dating a French guy and he was eating so much meat and cheese. I was like, ah, But the thing is, I made this transition with him, and for him it was difficult because I wasn't like encajar, like I don't know in English how you say, but in his life, I was
Yeah,
not like
a good match.
a good match at all. And okay, we loved each other, but we evolved, and it's like at some point to say bye, right? But then I had another partners. Actually, I've never had a vegan partner. The rest of the partners that I had, a few of them, not so many, but they weren't vegan either. So I choose them because we share a lot of things in common, and they respect me. And I think that that's the main point, right? That they respect the way that I eat, the way that I nourish my body, and that's the thing. But I know that it could be difficult to live with a person who cooks meat at home. And I realized that it was so difficult for me. So I think that it's like a balance, right? For myself, I don't like the smell of the meat at home, but I can deal with, I don't know, dairy or boiled eggs or something like that. So I think that it could be a balance. No relation is perfect.
No.
No friend relation or partner relation. That's the truth. But I think that you can negotiate in the relationship. And for instance, with my last partner, at home, we were eating like he was eating plant based, I was eating raw foods. And when we wanted to go outside, he was eating another things,
Yeah.
So it worked for a while,
Yeah.
that kind of like negotiation.
Hmm. Yeah, no, and I've heard that some people come to an agreement that in the home will be vegan, and then
Yes.
outside of the home, then the person or the people do what they want to do. So I can understand that, because we cannot force people to do anything,
No,
you
no.
know.
But the other difficult point, when you are, for instance, my age, that I'm thinking, I don't know if I will be a mother, if I start with a guy, we will raise a family or whatever. It's about the kids. That's like
Yeah,
really, really difficult point of relationships, because I want my kids to be vegan for sure. It's not necessary to be raw vegans.
right, right.
For me, it's not like must be raw vegans, but vegans, yes, to me. And that's a difficult part of understanding inside the couple.
Yeah, the good news is though that it does work. Um, I will try to find an Instagram live for you and send you a link after, of a
Okay.
vegan woman who is married to a guy who is still on the standard diet for the most part, but he's moving more towards the plant side. However,
Okay.
he has told her clearly that he is addicted to animal-based food.
Wow.
He told her it's in the Instagram live. So I will send you a link after. And what I understood is I think the children are predominantly eating plant-based. So it is quite tricky. And the good news is children love fruit. They love
That's
fruit.
true. That's true. Yeah.
And
Yeah. They
so
don't like vegetables, but they love food. Yeah.
right, right. So, I think it's doable. However, definitely, the good thing is that you're very clear on what you want, and I think a lot,
Yes.
once people know that, then they respect it, and they're like, oh yeah. And like I said, there's so many couples who start off with one person being vegan, the other one is not vegan.
Yeah.
And then as time goes on, poco a poco, the other one
Yeah.
just flips over and it's like, it's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
It should happen. I'm so happy for them, but not in most cases. For instance, in my cases, I always was the example. Like if I was making a juice, I was asking if they wanted. If I was making a salad, I was asking if they wanted. But at some point, like they don't like the things that you made for some reason or whatever, so you just stop trying. So now I'm not like worried about that, just thinking about myself and about my projects. And if arrives someone, okay, that's a thing that you just think. But I think that the most important thing when you met a guy is to live the moment, right? Like
Yeah.
you can figure it out if you will have kids, or because that is like be anxious about that,
Yeah.
like the best thing is just enjoy a moment and to meet the person, and then just analyze, or yeah, if it makes sense.
No, I agree. I agree. And someone said the other day, like there's so many different points of common interests, that you can have, and then you can kind of build on that. But I just want to encourage you that the good news is that there are a lot of guys who will change, and so
Yeah.
I think
Where they
I
are,
don't know.
guys,
I'm
I'm
waiting
here.
for one here, okay? And I know you are
I'm
too.
here.
I know you are too. So, gentlemen, vegan gentlemen, please, message us for goodness sakes. But while we wait for them, let's just move on here. So, your yoga practice. So, you teach yoga, you practice yoga. Can you tell us a little bit about, about that? And also about how and I know you've been vegan for so long, and even raw for a few years, like consistently. So I don't know if this will really resonate with you, but have you felt any changes in your yoga practice, throughout your vegan journey? And by the way, I love Ashtanga Yoga, so I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay. So when I was vegan, I practiced yoga, but not consistently because I didn't found the yoga that I like it. Like my practice is Ashtanga. So when I moved here to the Canary Islands, someone told me that it's a center, that it's Ashtanga, and I was like, with Ashtanga, really like in my mind, I have to try that. And I started Ashtanga. I'm not gonna lie, like maybe a year, just a year, you know. And I was like, wow, this is like a practice that really, it's like I'm consistently doing that because I'm not going to a class with a teacher. It's like my own practice, my own process. Yes, I go to a center with to practice with a teacher, and he's like teaching me how to do the asanas, but it's my own practice. I can go to my own rhythm, breathe, you know. And okay, by the way, Ashtanga, who doesn't know what is Ashtanga, it's like a kind of like a vinyasa yoga. It's like the base of vinyasa flow. And at the beginning, I was already raw vegan when I did Ashtanga.
Okay.
And the teacher, I remember that said, okay, but if you want to build muscle, if you want to be stronger, if you want to really have a process in your practice, you have to eat greens. Eat grains, like cereals, cereales, you know,
Oh
like
yeah.
rice,
Okay.
quinoa,
Yes.
you know.
Grains. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh.
grains, yeah, sorry, grains. And I was like,
Ew.
no, you know. And yeah, and the thing is, it's funny that they don't know. You know, they were vegetarians,
Yeah.
and I really feel like bad for them because they want to give me advice because
Yeah.
they love me, right? Because they care about me. But I know that that's not their point. Their point is just showing me how to do the things. Here I am. I'm completely raw vegan, and I'm still doing Ashtanga. So that was one of my passions. I really had a
Mhm.
progress in Ashtanga. I'm still doing the first city. It has like 6 cities, you know.
I'm
It's
still on
like
first
different
series.
levels.
too. I don't
Okay.
think I
It's
don't know
like
if I'll
I
ever
have
get out of first series.
I have some posture of the second series, but in the first one, you know.
Yes, yes.
And it's six levels. It's really hard for some people to go to the first to the second, but the point is, more or less, I can manage the first city, and I'm still raw vegan. So my underground was not it's not yoga. I'm doing interviews because I was working in human resources, interviewing people from a company. So that's what I've been doing. You know, I was in New York as well to be like a human resources specialist. And with the time, I realized that that's not my passion. My passion is about movement. I can't stay in the computer for so many hours. And I realized that doing interviews to people for a job, it was like 20 minutes interview and go, you know. And it's not right for me. It's something, it was not right. So I decided to study yoga. And I started this year in January doing like a yoga teacher training here in the Canary Island, and it was about Ashtanga Vinyasa. So I really love it. I already passed the exam, so I have like 200 hours of vinyasa yoga. And yeah, my plan is to do. I started doing some classes here on my Instagram, like free classes. And my thing is to take classes in a studio and also making a program, because for me yoga is like nutrition, right? It's not just about yoga or the exercise. It's like a holistic view. You need to eat well to nourish your body, but do exercise. So that's my main program. I have some clients that I teach that vision And that's what I'm more or less doing right now.
Awesome. So if a person wants to have classes with you online, do you do that as well?
I can do that. I'm still not doing that because I don't know if you heard, but I have a toe, like
Yeah,
yeah, un dedo, a toe of
yeah,
my
yeah,
foot
toe.
broken. So I'm still kind of managing how to do exercise. I know that I can do some exercises, but it's the ego who is all the time there, like go and do more, and I can't. So yeah, I can do some asanas, but not all of them.
Yeah, right,
So
right, right.
I'm still have like a couple of more weeks of resting, so that's a
Mm.
perfect time for doing this juice fast that I'm doing at home. And yeah, if someone wants to do classes and know more about Ashtanga or any kind of vinyasa, so they can contact me. Mhm.
Yeah. I actually had a teacher who was injured. So she wasn't actually like doing the demo of the poses, but she was still able to like get me in position. You know what I'm saying? Like she could instruct me on how to position my body. So I don't think, I mean, I really hope that your injury gets better soon. My point is that I do think that it is still possible to teach people
Yes.
very effectively even when you're injured. And again, and my teacher at that point, her injury was way bigger than yours. So I just wanted to mention that we have a very kind comment here from someone I know, and he says, "Focus on you, and you will attract the vibration you are on." Thank you,
Yes,
Ryan.
exactly. He was saying that when we were talking about vegan guys and
Yeah,
all those things, and that's completely true. What we were talking about is like focus on yourself, and everything will come. Like if you attract that,
yeah,
it will come to you.
yeah.
That's
No,
for
that's
sure.
beautiful. Thank you for that. And
So
so,
about your last question that you said, there is any difference
right, I'm
between
wondering.
practicing vegan or practicing being raw vegan? So I can say, I really can say about yoga because when I was being vegan, I was more like in the gym, like doing
Yeah,
gym or swimming and things like that. And when I turned more raw vegan, so I was more into yoga. So
yeah,
maybe yes, maybe not, it depending. I guess that when you are raw vegan, you have more flexibility than when you are just vegan. People tell me that when I'm doing the postures, it's like, wow, I can touch your body, and I already know that you're super flexible and your muscles are not like, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So everyone says me that, yeah, that I have
Yeah.
a really, really good flexibility.
Yeah, and I will add to that I find that I am lighter. My body is lighter. My energy
Yes.
is much lighter. I don't feel so heavy, pesada.
Yeah.
It's a totally different energy compared to, let's say when we eat cooked
Plant
food.
based. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely, on the standard diet. I mean, that's just another, total different situation. Or even vegetarian, pescatarian, which I was for over 20 years,
Yeah.
just stuck in that world. So I can definitely say, I find like, a raw, version is definitely, I think at a higher vibration. And I think that you can your body is not stuck with, you were mentioning gluten earlier, for example, and like your body's just not weighed down by that extra weight of those heavier plant foods. So I can definitely see your point.
Yes, I have a lot of vegan friends. It's better to have vegan friends than not have vegan friends. Because it's really difficult here, at least in the Canary Island or Spain, to find raw vegan
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
But I have a lot of vegan friends, and they go to the gym and they focus on eating so much grains and legumes and everything at the
Oh,
same
and
time because they
protein,
want to
protein.
protein, because they want to build muscle. And that's not the key, because even though I don't encourage them to eat cooked food, but it doesn't matter. The combination is terrible for your stomach. You just are focused on building muscle, when you have to focus on your gut, your health, and that mucus is gonna stick into your intestines, in terms of
Intestines,
intestines.
yeah,
So
yeah. No, I agree. And
yeah.
I just feel so much heavier. And so, I mean, just in that, like, just, thinking of even a yoga practice or, a gym workout, or you're running, or I don't know, you're doing ballet or something like that. I mean, for me, the raw foods are just much lighter, energetically and physically. So I can definitely see why, your flexibility has increased.
Actually, most of the athletes, they work out doing intermittent fasting. Why? Because
Yeah.
they don't have anything in their stomach. So that's why
And they're
it's
much
gonna just
lighter,
need.
they're not like
Yes,
weighed
yes,
down by all this extra
yes,
food.
yes, yes.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. So thank you for
Yeah.
adding that. I wanna just say, whoever's still here with us, thank you for being here, and please put your questions and comments down below for Carla, and she'll be happy to answer. And so,
Yes.
Carla, you share recipes on your page. What is the inspiration behind the recipes that you are sharing?
That's a good point. The thing is, I've been cooking raw vegan for a long time. I more or less have the same kind of recipes, like rice or spaghettis or salads or burritos, Like, and I'm creative. Like, I'm in the kitchen and I open the fridge and I say, what do I have now? What can I make? And it's not like I create this recipe because that and that is the combination perfect. No, I create the recipe because it's what I have, at that moment. And some friend just tell me, okay, you have to share your recipes and do reels because people will know you better and da, 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 da. And I was like, okay, let's gonna make that. It's true that I spend more time in the kitchen since I'm doing recently my reels, my videos, but it's so much fun, sharing the recipes and I don't know, the feedback of the people. So I have so many books about raw food. I don't know, Spanish from the US, several people that I follow,
Yeah.
and it's not like I check all the recipes, but like I say, I just create my own things. Maybe if I want to create, I don't know, a burger with meat
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Ooh.
I've never done that before, so maybe I would check the recipe, how I have to do it, with which ingredients,
Yeah.
seeds or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's normal stuff like salads or rice or things that they don't need much preparation, so
Mm.
I just go with the flow. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. No, well, that's how I make my smoothies too. I'm like, well, whatever I have, that's what's going in there. It's
And
not-
I always have this problem that I don't know how to name the recipe because it's like I don't know how to name it. It's like just rice and it's not actually rice, but it's like yeah, I
So
always
do
have
you make?
a problem with the name, the recipe.
No, no, no. So do you make your rice with like cauliflower or something else?
Yeah, cauliflower. I use the cauliflower, and it depends. It depends. If I'm making just rice, maybe I just you can rallar. I don't know how is
Oh
rallar.
yeah, great, great.
Great. Or
Mhm.
I have a machine that lo pica, like una picadora. It's
Mm.
like a blender, but not too much.
Yeah,
It's like
like
a little bit.
it shreds it like a shredding or a little bit of a
It's like
chop, a
like if
chop.
you chop, yeah, like
Hmm.
chop, but it's like a machine.
Yeah.
And okay, if I make rice, I do it that way. But if I want to make, for instance, sushi, I'm
Mm.
gonna take out a little bit the water with
Yeah.
I put it in a bag, so I try to
Mhm. To
remove the
squeeze
water because
it. Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, squeeze it. Yeah, otherwise the paper of the rice, the nori roll, is gonna be like a little bit sticky. And
Yeah.
this is like error and try. I had so many errors in the kitchen, like, okay, that doesn't taste good or whatever, so you try again. It's the same with crackers.
Oh yeah.
I use sometimes the poop of the dishes.
Yes, that's awesome.
So I mix it with chia seeds or flax
Ooh.
seeds. Maybe I put some garlic and cumin, let's say that. And
Wow.
sometimes it doesn't taste good because the combination of the vegetables or depending. So the good advice is to make things simple. Like if you do, let's say, carrot and apple, don't put so many things because in the juice, because otherwise, if you want to make them crackers, then you will mix with other stuff. So keep it simple. Is my advice for the people.
I
Yeah.
agree. The KISS principle. Keep it
Yes.
super simple. Some people you
Yes.
say it another way, but I don't like saying it that other way. But
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
simple. No, I love
Yeah.
that. And you know, when you were talking about the taste of, like, say, the crackers, I think the problem or the challenge that we have nowadays is our taste buds have been re-engineered and you know, I guess re-educated to prefer tastes that are sweet. And we don't, you know, you mentioned like cumin, right? Like something that is not sweet. So a lot
Yeah,
of
well, I
people
say
will say, oh
cumin or
no,
yeah, or ginger or I
something
don't know,
spicy.
oregano's. Yeah, something
Yeah.
spicy. Yeah,
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 and a lot of us, we're like, no, 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 no. If it's not salty or it's not sweet, then it tastes terrible. You know, if it's
yes,
bitter, we don't want it. If it's, you
yeah,
know, and so
yeah.
I think, you know, our taste buds have been like retrained to prefer.
The
Uh,
taste buds, the smell, everything surrounded by us. It's like when you go raw vegan, it's like, wow, what is that? You know, I can feel and sense the things. It's wow, it's powerful, really. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. It's like an awakening, you know? It's
Yes.
like, whoa. Yeah, I agree. No, I've discovered so many foods that I never, ever, ever used to eat. Um, when I ate, you know, the cooked version, it's just beautiful because you get to explore all these flavors and textures and colors and everything. Hi there. So please put your
Hello.
preguntas y comentarios abajo
Preguntas,
para Carla,
preguntas,
por favor.
sí. No sé si alguien habla por aquí español y
Sí,
quiere que digamos algo en español, estaría
claro,
bien. Sí, sí,
claro, por
sí.
supuesto.
Cuéntame, ¿por qué hablas tantos idiomas?
Porque
That's a good question.
he estudiado idiomas en el colegio,
Bueno,
en la universidad, en la vida. Entonces, sí, me encanta.
qué bueno poderte comunicar con mucha gente, es especial.
Claro, claro, me encanta, me encanta. And so let's go to your retos, your challenges. So you're currently doing a juice feast, and I know you've done other challenges in the past. So tell us, why are you doing these challenges? What is going on in these
Okay.
challenges? And who are these challenges really designed to help on their journey, please?
Okay. So first of all, I when I look for who is this challenge, I just remember that Carla, who started in New York doing a 7 days juice feast, you know. I got inspired by John Rose, who is
Oh,
really the solid food vacation master, you know. And for me, watching him on YouTube, a lot of things make sense. A lot of people is fasting on juices instead of water
yeah.
because you have more or less the same kind of energy. You don't need to be laying down, you know, in the couch and the bed all the time. And you're still pooping, you're still doing exercise, you still have calories, and you have all the good nutrients while your stomach is cleansing and your body is taking that energy that you don't use for digestion or recover and heal inside you. That's the main point of fasting, right? But we do it with uses, and with uses you can prolong the fast. So I did these 7 juice in New York. I did them 14 days. And during the pandemic in 2020, right? We were in lockdown. So I used that time for doing 45 days juice feast. And I really love it. So since then, it's like my diet was more clean, more
Yeah.
raw, more, you know, everything changed. You clean your body and then you start like in a good mood and everything. So why I'm doing that right now? Because I have to be home. My toe is, my finger is broken, as I told you. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be home. I'm not gonna be doing that much. So I'm here with my user. I don't have to move. And for me, it's easier to do uses in the morning and night, or anytime that I'm thirsty or hungry. So I took advantage of that time, maybe because I'm not exercising that much as before. So I will raise my vegetables instead of my fruit intake for that reason, because I don't need that caloric intake.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm adding fruits every day, and I'm losing weight. I'm going to the bathroom. And more or less I have energy to. I have more energy that I wanted to have, because I can't move. It's like, okay, I wish I could go for a walk or running or do my Ashtanga practice, but I can't. And yeah, I think that kind of challenge is for people to see that it's possible, and if they want, here I am to help them, to give them recipes, to be like a coach for them,
Yeah.
just during their process. I think that they need that, and
Mm-hmm.
people who wants to heal. If you just can do one day it's perfect. I have lunes de ayuno, which is Monday juice feast. If you
Yeah.
want to try one day, perfect. If you want to try 3 days, go for it. It's depending on your body response and your mind as well, because most of the time it's not about the body, it's about the mind.
That
Yeah.
is such a good point because, a lot of times, for example, even going from the standard diet to a vegan diet, some people say, "Oh, I could never give up meat. Oh no, I could never do that." Like in their minds, like they've never tried it, but they've already decided that it's a
Yeah.
mindset. It's a mindset, and they're just like, they just don't want to like get over that barrier. Now you have an invitation to go to Mexico here. Do you see it? Carla,
Me?
when are you? Yes.
Who?
Carla, when are you coming to
Who?
Mexico? I'm waiting for you. Woohoo!
Who? I can see it. I can see it. Who?
He is a cool
No,
guy.
I can read the comments. Okay? No,
No? Oh.
no, I can. I don't know why I can't
Swipe.
move
You cannot
the.
swipe.
Yeah. No.
Oy. Okay.
Well,
I
thank
will
you.
send
Text
you.
me.
I was say it again, Carla.
Text me.
And Carla, I will send you his contact in a direct message after this conversation. He's a cool guy.
Okay.
He's a cool
I've never
guy.
been to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico.
Mexico is cool. For some reason, I looked at my insights on Instagram, and I'm reaching people in Mexico, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I mean, I have followers in Spain as well. And I was just very happy to see that, I had like a percentage of people in Mexico who were,
That's cool.
seeing my posts. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Yeah,
So
I
there we go.
started in the US with this account, and I did it at the first time like private, like sharing uses. If you
Yeah.
go at the very beginning of my Instagram, I was just about this just cleans that I did, and then I moved to Spain, and I was like, okay, I changed my language. My main language, it was English at the beginning
Oh,
because I
yeah.
was learning English. But when I moved to Barcelona, well, to Spain, I continue in Spanish. And I realized that there is no much information about raw foods in Spanish. Like, it's like higienismo,
Yeah.
vacuolístico, no
Mm-hmm.
sé qué, and it's not clear. And it's like, okay, if you eat fruits and you eat raw, this is crudivorismo, this is
Sí,
crudivegano, right?
sí,
And
sí, sí.
and people like to put it like so many names, but the thing is like it's simple: eat fresh and eat raw. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says that he will be contacting you. So just keep
Okay.
your eyes open in your inbox. And I saw your Instagram live the other day. I think her name is Adriana, and she's a hygienist.
Yes,
And you
yes.
all were talking about, that whole world and everything. And I mean, she's amazing. I mean,
She's amazing. She's in
she's
Argentina.
not right, and she's not, like, 15 years old or 20 years old. I
It's
mean,
like
and
60,
she's thriving, and she's just amazing. So I, yeah, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that Instagram live. I watched the replay, so I didn't catch the live, but I did watch the replay. So tell us, please, about your so well. Let me finish off with the challenges or the retos.
Okay.
So regarding the challenges and the retos, are I mean are any people like sharing with you like how they're how they're feeling, how they're enjoying it, any changes that they have doing these challenges by chance?
I don't have so much feedback in a long run. Like I've been doing this challenge and that. No, I have the feedback on the same day. Like people
Yeah,
who shares the recipes and
yeah,
everything. I have right now this 10 days juice feast, but
yeah,
on the weekly, normally I have the Monday juice feast, which is
yeah,
every Monday, and also I have Fruit Friday, which is today. But
yeah,
today I'm using. So the Fruit Friday is like eating just fruits.
yeah,
Normally it's every kind of fruit, but fruits that are high in carbs and low in fats. Let's say don't eat avocados or don't eat durian. Just focus on fruits, even though they are on juices or whole, right?
yeah.
Whole fruits. So the point about this Fruit Friday is to prepare the body for the weekend. Like do a cleanse, try what is it to eat just food, because people are so afraid to eat food like a main meal.
Yeah.
And for me, doing this Fruit Friday is showing them that it's possible and that you will not die. Actually, you will recover your health. And most of the people, when it's weekend, they have like bad habits, drink alcohol, go to restaurants, everything like that. So Food Friday is to put your body like in a good mood. And if you put your body in like good mood, good state, and you make that effort about eating fruits, maybe you don't want, probably you won't eat bad during the weekend. So it's to be conscious. The Fruit Friday is to be conscious to have like good decisions in your food intakes. That's for me more or less the key, right? And then the Monday juice feast is if okay, if you didn't were exitoso, like I don't know how to say like
Successful, successful.
successful. Okay, you can recover in the Monday juice feast.
Do a cleanse. Do a cleanse.
Cleanse because you didn't do it right.
That is so brilliant. I'm going to tell you because I don't know about in your country, but over here, a lot of people they say they're going to eat healthy Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends they're going to party, and they call them
Yes.
cheat days, and they're going to cheat, and they're
Yeah.
just going to eat all kinds of junk. And so I think it's really really brilliant that
Yeah.
are helping people to okay, see how great and clean they
Focus.
can
Yeah.
feel on Friday,
Yes.
even if they do
While
all this
you
other stuff on the
will make a
weekend.
disaster on the weekend, right?
Yeah, and then clean it up on Monday. But also I think what's brilliant is that they can see the power of plants and the power of fruits and vegetables, and
Yes.
that will make them feel better. And I think what I'm understanding too is that they might even decide, well, my gosh, I felt so great, why am I doing this to myself on weekends? So I think it is kind of an opening of a window for them to
Yeah.
see how their bodies can how they can really feel awesome
Yeah.
without putting all that junk in there on the
Yeah.
weekends.
Yeah. I had clients that they wanted me so bad, like to make them like a fruit diet, for them. And it's not that easy. I mean, you have to see in which point they are, if they are eating animal products or not. I make like a slow transition,
Yeah.
okay? It's good to make to do like a Fruit Friday, but
Mhm.
what happened is that they will have more detox symptoms.
Yeah,
Like
and
if you go
cravings.
straight away to just peace, like 10 days, for instance, but you come from omnivore
Yeah,
diet,
standard
standard
diet.
American diet,
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
So
mm.
you will have more symptoms. So the thing is, eat clean, make good choices, eat a lot of fruits, try to eliminate the animal products, fats. Yeah, try to eat first like a plant-based, healthy, and then
Yeah.
little by little go more raw, and then you can try like a fruitarian diet.
Yeah, and I've seen people who have had brilliant, amazing results going plant-based. Honestly, I mean, they have
Yes,
really, really improved their health dramatically, which is so awesome. And then, of
yeah,
course, as they progress more and more into the raw arena, they see even more benefits. So I definitely can see
completely.
I definitely can see your point on that.
Yeah.
I do want to then
So,
go ahead.
oh, no, so you were asking me like what kind of people is doing the challenges that you are trying to do every now and then. So I think that it's people that they don't know how to do those choices, and they want to
Mhm.
see exactly what you eat. Like I have like a follower that all the time is asking me, but I want to know the quantities that you use, what are you eating every time, and that's for this reason, I share in my stories everything that I eat in every single meal, more or less. Sometimes I take off, like I don't want to be in social media, but more or less, I'm sharing what I'm eating because they want to know, especially the quantities. So I'm
Yeah,
eating a lot. I'm not gonna deny that. And normally I'm more active than now, but
right.
I'm normally eating a lot, and people don't realize that the people that we eat, it has more water content, so
Yeah.
we eat more volume and more food.
Mhm.
So they have to, make this thinking in their mind. So yeah, it's people that want a change, but they don't know how to do it, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think about is that what you're eating is different from what I'm going to eat. Like we're a different size, we're different activity levels, etc. So that's the only thing that kind of because it's like, well, gosh, are they gonna just like copy everything you're doing, like say I
No, they
if I
can't.
right,
Yeah.
right. That's my point. So I think sharing it is awesome, and then saying, well, this is customized to me, and we can have a little chat about what would be awesome for you, and based on your lifestyle and your body and your activity and all
And
of that.
also because maybe they love other fruits and vegetables that I don't like or that they love, It's not just about what your activity levels, but also if you're starting with, let's say, a plant-based diet, don't eat cauliflower if you don't like cauliflower. Eat salads with tomato because maybe you love tomato. So it's to choose exactly what is gonna suits you in a long
Yes.
run. Hmm.
Yes, and also I will add that it's what you have access to. You know,
That's true.
it's which part of the
That's
world are you
important.
in? It's what season are you in? I mean, if you're in the we're in the northern hemisphere. If someone is in the southern hemisphere, like they may have a totally different, produce
Yeah,
selection compared
yeah.
to us in the northern hemisphere and vice versa. So there's
If
so many.
I could be in Costa Rica, I will be eating fruits every day, but that's not my situation right now.
I know. Costa Rica is amazing. I was lucky to go there, and I tell you, the fruit selection was woo
Right?
incredible. That was the first time I think I had watermelon juice. I don't think I had watermelon juice before that. Yes, of course I had watermelon, thankfully, but I don't recall having watermelon juice before then. It was just amazing. Like
Amazing.
the
So
vibration was
sweet
like,
and
yeah, it was
yeah.
incredible. So yeah, good point. So I do want to ask you now, to tell us a bit about your Instagram Live series. You have interviewed people from all over the world, you know, awesome conversations. And you know, some were in English, some were in Spanish, and you know, this is I love it because you know you're very deep in your questions. Like you know you know you like you just you're like a drill. You just go drill 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 drill, and you just go deep deep deep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're getting everything here. So tell us a bit, please, about your Instagram Live series. I guess why you started them, and you know whatever you want us to know about your Instagram Live series, please.
Okay, so I started that. It was very spontaneous because Rich Card, a friend of mine who is from Mexico, he asked me to do an interview with him, and I was like, okay. This is the first time he was interviewing me. He knew that I was doing more like 80-10-10 diets.
Yes, yes.
So I really enjoyed doing this interview with him. And I was like, why not? I start interviewing people because it's my profession. I really like it. And that way, the people who follows me, they are going to know all the kinds of raw food or plant-based or whatever are my friends, you know, whatever I consider people that it's important to me. So the people that I interview is because one, I want to know them better. Two, because they are my friends and I know that they have important information to share. Three, because I know that their information, yeah, it's gonna be that the interview is gonna be fun, you know, that's the good part of the interview. So yeah, I have interviews in Spanish and English. I know that most of the people that have like important content, they are in English, and in Spanish you have like less people in this lifestyle. But yeah, the point is to know the person who is talking, what is their life, what are they doing, how they are started with this lifestyle, more or less. Some of them, they have like similar stories, but they live in different countries and they have different situations. So maybe some of them, they started with this diet because of health problems, other people because they wanted to lose weight, other people because they just it was something that checked in their minds, and then how they started, it could be different, and their lives are different. So yeah, it's good to share the point of view of this diet, right? So yeah, that's the main point of doing interviews. And my interviews are not just about let's say food, like lifestyle, like eating habits. It's also about a healthy lifestyle, like meditation, yoga. So I try to open a little bit more the circle of subjects to talk in their interviews. And I have, for instance, the last ones was about meditation. Another one that I did was about yoga and his experience. And even though you don't share the same eating habits, because I'm like more like raw vegan and the other one could be plant-based, but they share the challenge for them who was going vegan or doing something different to the society. And I think that that's the powerful thing, that people must know who encouraged them, why they did it, what benefits they had in their lives, and it's possible. We are the example, and we are here to give examples, so people want to know that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I really love the variety of people who you have on your Instagram Lives. I mean, I haven't watched all of them, and a lot of times it's on a replay because I'm like, you
Yeah.
know, something
Yeah,
else is.
different time to schedules. Yeah, it's difficult sometimes. If someone is like you in the US, or another people is in Argentina, or I did one in Bali, like New Zealand as well. It was like crazy, you know. But it's good that if it's in the profile of the person, so people can see the interview. So that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's really helpful because, you know, you're like creating like a library, you know, of knowledge and experience, and I like that you branch out so that, you know, like you're
Thank
saying,
you.
Yeah, because I mean, it is a lifestyle change. It's a mindset change, and a lot of people, like we were just discussing, it's very difficult, and also the social pressure. you know so I know you mentioned the social pressure at the top of the other hour. Here we're already at the top of this hour. So about an hour ago, you mentioned this, like, the social pressure and everything. So if a person wants to start going more raw, going more plant-based, uh, what do you suggest for them, like, with handling the social pressures of conforming to how most other people are living their lives?
Well, first and most important thing is to be compassionate with yourself. I always believe that. Maybe you can't go raw directly because you are not ready. Like when I was 20 or when I was 21 and I discovered raw food, I wasn't ready
Yeah,
mentally to
yeah,
go fully raw.
yeah.
I knew that that was the path and I knew that foods were good to me, but at that moment I couldn't.
Mhm.
So sometimes we need like more time to settle the things, in
Yeah.
our mind, more than
Mhm.
in our body, in our mind. And if someone wants to go raw, imagine that they already came from a healthy plant-based diet and they want to go raw, but it's a little bit difficult because of family situation or friends or whatever. So I would say like talk with the people who really loves you and you love them and share with them why this is important for you. Maybe they don't
Mhm.
understand and they don't have to understand, but
Mhm.
you have to talk from your heart, from your beliefs. And if that people is really loving you and really supports you, they will be there even though you take one decision or other, right?
Mhm.
So, for example, I go and eat in restaurant with my parents,
Yes.
and my parents like to, here in Spain, normally you go out at lunchtime. We have like a really late lunch, like around 2 or 3.
I know.
So, what I do, I always like to have fruits for lunch. So all the time that I go and have lunch with them, I bring my fruits with me. So the waiters is like, what are you gonna order? And I always ask for water on our herbal tea or something like that. And at the end, I order a plate and maybe a spoon. And I take a papaya and I eat the papaya, and they can't say anything. Like maybe my parents are ordering food.
Yes.
So I'm ordering something too, and if they are not happy that I'm eating a papaya, they will say, but they never said that anything like that. So you have to be like a little bit brave and have courage to do the things that you believe. And sometimes I if they ask, you can say no, I don't feel really good, and that's I prefer to eat that. And it's if you don't want this social pressure at the beginning, you always can say that this is what fix you because you don't feel well, whatever. And if you
Mhm.
already have the courage to say no, I'm raw vegan, and the waiter is gonna be like, raw vegan, why? So it starts a conversation. It's depending on what is your mood that day. Sometimes I just say that I'm not feeling well and I'm gonna eat my papaya or my melon or the food that I brought with me. And other times okay, because people know me, when I'm going to the same restaurant with my parents with fruits, I can say that I'm all the time sick.
Yeah.
So I already say, listen, I just eat fruits. I'm fruitarian and I'm raw vegan, and I can eat what you have here. So if you don't mind, or you call the restaurant, listen, I bring my food with me? Do you mind? And it's gonna be okay. And then when I go for dinner with my friends, depending. For instance, last time it was very fun because I was with a bunch of guys and we were eating in a Venezuelan restaurant. And okay, nothing there was suiting me. Like, believe me, nothing. Okay, but it was like a small restaurant, very familiar. So I asked the waiters if they could make me just a salad with lettuce, tomato, cucumber, and lemon juice. Something very very simple. And I said, please, I'm gluten intolerant because I'm
Yes.
really gluten intolerance. So please, nothing gluten, no oil. It's very, very simple. And they made me a beautiful salad, just for me. So most of the time I prefer to go to restaurants that are like omnivore, like the standard
Yeah.
diet, because
Hmm.
I know that in all restaurants they have lettuce, tomato, and cucumber. Okay, that's
And
which
carrots. They
restaurant that,
probably have some
yeah, which
carrots somewhere.
yes, which restaurant doesn't have those things? When I go to a vegan restaurant, I won't lie. Sometimes I order some vegan food, some vegan cooked food.
Yes.
For sure, it's gluten free, and
Yes.
for sure, I order before a salad, before a
Yeah.
cooked meal. Right? This is
Yeah.
like every now and then,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know when I do that, like my digestion is gonna be great. So the day after I do this.
I love that. And
Yes.
and I love that you use the word, to have the courage, to be brave enough to be true to yourself, as we were saying before. Um, and also, it's the way you approach the situation. It's the way you explain it to people. You're very kind and very nice, and you're not saying, no, I can't eat all this stuff you have in here. No, no, no. You're just saying, hey, this is what suits me. This is what, I feel best on. This is my diet. We love this word diet in our culture. And so, because I was vegetarian, pescatarian for over 20 years before I went plant-based and then vegan, is I was already used to ordering salads with no chicken, with no shrimp, and dressing on the side or no dressing, or so I was already used to it, or like pasta with no chicken, no shrimp, because
Yeah.
they just pile on all this other stuff. And I was ordering pizzas no cheese for years and years and years because I am also lactose intolerant, although I don't really think that we're lactose intolerant. I just think we're not supposed to be eating it. And so, apparently like 2/3 of the global human population are said to be lactose intolerant, but I don't really think that's it. I just think it's
Yeah.
not designed for our bodies, right? But so yeah, I had like eliminated, what we call dairy, and then eggs used to give my stomach all kinds of somersaults and everything. I was like, no, 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 I can't eat this either. So, I guess I was what people call plant forward or plant slant or plant rich before I went plant-based vegan, but I didn't know that these words and existed. But anyway, yeah, I really like that you really stick to it, and you're right, like last year in the fall, in otoño, and because this whole lockdown thing was going on for so long, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm bored. I'm just gonna like go out to a restaurant, and I would have like a vegan cooked meal, and like the next day, my digestion was sluggish. I was tired. I recall once or twice I almost fell asleep during the meal because
Yeah, I can
my
imagine.
vibration went
Yeah,
so
it's
low.
deprivation.
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I was like, why am I feeling sleepy? I'm eating. How can this
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
So I can definitely feel it.
I usually, when I go for a cook meal, it's always at dinner time.
Yeah.
And then what I do, if I don't do a juice feast the day after, I just made like maybe one meal a day that is fruit, and that's it. And that way, maybe it helps a little bit.
Like a reset.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I realize that eating cook. I won't say that eating cook is dangerous, because for most people it helps. If they come from a standard American
I
diet,
agree.
eating plant-based
I
is
agree.
a safe life.
It's night and
So
day. It's night and day.
I won't say that it's bad for you, but when you are eating raw for a long period of time, eating something cooked, for me, sometimes not all the time that I eat cook, it's like an addiction,
Yeah,
because
it
I don't know
is.
what is my limit.
I agree.
For
Oh,
instance,
yes. I've heard
like
people say that.
potatoes. Yes, potatoes for me, it's like I know that I'm full, but I can't stop eating them. And when I order outside a meal, I'm glad that I order in a restaurant, not in my home, because if I cook in my home, I will eat the whole thing. So you have to make really small portions, because yeah, you don't know. The thing is, it has no water content, so you are gonna feel full later. So you're gonna feel full not in the time that you're really full later on, which when it's too late actually. So
No, no, yeah,
that's the point.
I've heard people say that. And then of course, all the flavors and and it's a familiar comforting, it's a comfort, like comfort
Yes,
food, to
yes,
have something warm or hot, and it's probably something we used to eat way back
yes,
when. It's just, it
yes,
doesn't, it's not animal based anymore. It's all, plant-based vegan,
yeah,
but yeah, it's definitely a slippery slope, I think, for
yeah.
sure.
I still have when I want something that is warm and I want to warm up, I do always like an herbal infusion. For
Yeah.
me, drinking something warm at night, maybe, or in the morning at the first time, for me it helps. And other people, okay, if you live in Costa Rica or Thailand, maybe you don't need something hot. You need coconut water all the time. But living here in Europe, even though I'm in the Canary Islands,
Yeah, it's still
you want
chilly.
something that is a little bit warm, right? So for me, it helps. But then the food, when I eat something, the warm food, I all the time get this like boom, like red
Pimples.
face.
Oh,
Yes, and it's
yeah.
like because I'm not used to eat warm food, you know.
Yeah. Well,
So it's really
and it makes sense because, it's a higher temperature, so it will
yes,
show in your skin, in your body.
yes.
You feel hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny.
I agree.
Well,
So, is there anything else, Carla, that you want us to know about your coaching programs, like your coaching offerings?
okay, so at the beginning, I started doing like individual coachings, like one session and that's it. But then I realized that people don't want to ask me questions, like because maybe they are afraid that they have to pay another session or something like that, you know.
Oh,
So I was doing like long sessions, sometimes like 2 hours or 1 hour and a half, because I was having fun helping people. You know, it was like my passion, but I created these connections with clients, and then they weren't asking me things. So I created like another coaching, which is like a month program, and we were having like 4 sessions,
yeah.
and I was creating them like diets and activity, like eating habits changing a little bit. And for them that was like better, because they knew that every Sunday maybe we had the call, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, one of my clients wanted to go vegetarian, so
Yeah.
during this month we transitioned because he was already plant-based, so we
Okay.
transitioned little by little. And the funny thing about this coaching mentorship is that what they really need is recipes,
Yes.
because I can say all the information that I have during all those years learning about raw food and studying detox, but what they need for them for simplify their lives are recipes.
Mm.
So now I'm working on another project that I hope that maybe this year or next year I will finish, which is like a really like close program that I create, and it's this way. And it's like initiation to raw veganism, like for the people who it's in Spanish, we in Spanish,
Yes.
for the people that needs help and they want to transition. So it's like one
Mm.
month. It's a holistic point of view with exercise, with diet,
I love
everything that
that.
they need, calories,
Mm.
but really specific with the recipes that I would love the most. And for sure, I'm still creating it. And also, they will have like sessions, maybe group sessions or
Mm.
individual sessions. It depends. But I'm still working on it. That doesn't mean that people can't contact me. Yeah, they can contact me. I will do like a program, individual program for them. But stay tuned for the people that maybe is watching us, if they will have information in Spanish. So yeah, it's possible.
That's awesome. And I mean, I see your mercado, your market also, in a lot of the tropical countries, and a lot of them happen to be in, Latin America, because they do have access to all that beautiful fruit and, and freshness, you know. So a
Yes.
lot of people, I think, would be interested in getting help from you, for and also feel comfortable in speaking, the same language, and they have access to all this beautiful produce.
Yes, of course, of course. So yeah, that's the main point. I always think like if I was the Carla that I was 20, like 10 years ago, what would suit me the most? Like what kind of program? I would like to help this Carla that wasn't brave and she didn't know how to do it. So to give a program that it's already done, like you have a lot of recipes and you have it's not gonna be that expensive. It's not for me the main point. It's not gaining money about that because I'm already working in a retreat center in the kitchen. I cook vegan food.
Oh,
I already
oh,
I'm a yoga teacher, so
yeah.
my plan is to take classes. So for me, helping people online, it's to reach more people and to like spread that information in Spanish, right? It's not gonna be expensive, or for sure it will have a cost because I think that when it's too cheap, people don't value that. So yeah, it's gonna be something in between.
Yes, and it's so interesting. I heard someone say a while back, it's like an even exchange of energy. So you have invested energy in creating all of your services and products. And so you do deserve, we all deserve to receive energy in return. And so it is an
Yes.
exchange, it's an energetic exchange, So I totally agree with you. And your retreat, oh my gosh, your retreat situation sounds amazing. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. So anyone, who's interested in all of that, please reach out to Carla. And so Carla, are there any other future projects or services that you want to share at this time?
No, I think that I'm just starting like I said, my life this year
Yeah.
for me it was a change. Yeah, last year I was working in human resources, and this year it's like an open door of possibilities and opportunities. So I'm creating. I think that I'm in this situation of creating and knowing myself, and I know what's suiting me, like yoga, eating habits, hygiene habits as well, like not using chemicals. Things like that. So I want to put everything that I know, everything that is my lifestyle in my future program. And for sure, I'm available if someone wants to do coaching with me one on one. I'm available for that,
Oh my
or
gosh.
any yoga session.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That's awesome. So that takes us to almost the end here, Carla. And that is, what are the best ways for people to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, comments, etc.?
I think that Instagram for me it's my platform that I'm using right now. So yeah, Instagram for the time being. I need to put like my number on Instagram, like WhatsApp, business WhatsApp or something like that. I'm still working on it. I'm really new to these technologies, still. But yeah, I'm on Instagram is gonna be okay. I always reply in the comments, in the photos, in the private messages. So yeah, if people want to contact me, I can give you then my email address or my WhatsApp number or Telegram, and we can continue talking through another platform.
Awesome. All right. So before we wrap up, I want to thank you so very much for taking the time to chat with us today. I want to thank everybody who joined either live or on the replay. And I want to ask you, Carla, to wrap this up and put a bow on it for us, please, and just give us your final thoughts for today. Thank you.
Final thoughts. That's like a challenge. That's a challenge. Well, first, thank you so much for inviting me for doing this interview. I'm really glad that you contacted me, and now I know you and know what you are doing. I felt so comfortable talking to you. I must say that. And my final thoughts. It's a sentence that I love a lot from my yoga studio, which is everything in life solo el cambio permanece.
Oh
Just
yeah.
how to say it in
Change is the only constant.
yes, change is the only constant, which means that it doesn't matter if we are talking about exercise, food, your goals, everything in life will change. But if you want to do something, go for it and you will find yourself in the process. So for me, this is the sentence that I will share. Yeah.
Now that was beautiful. I need you to repeat that. That was beautiful. Tell us again, please.
Solo el cambio permanece, which means that everything in life is constantly changing. And if you want to find yourself during the process, you will learn so much. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about food, if we are talking about exercise, if we are talking about the studies, just put your goals and then find yourself in the process.
Oh my gosh. That was
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Carla. That was
No, thank you
a
so much to
beautiful
you.
bow to wrap this up for us. And so, Carla, I'm gonna save this to my feed, IGTV and stories, and then I'll message you after,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna send you also a couple of links that I was referring to about an hour or so ago. That I want to share a couple of people with you, through a direct message. So thank you so much again, Carla. I wish you a
Thank you so
beautiful
much.
buenas noches,
Buenas noches.
sueños dulces y todo esto. And yeah, I will message you in a couple of minutes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you so much
Carla.
for people to listen to us and staying there.
Yes, thank you, everybody, and take good care. And thanks, Carla. Take care. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.